the fight, shining a light where the shadows creep, for the lost, the stolen, the ones who will weep. She won't turn away, she won't back down, even when the loony clowns come round. Threats don't shake her, lies don't win. She stands for justice, right till the end. Want the truth, want the best, wanna be safe as you chat. Find kids true crimes, worth your time. She's got your back, she's on the line. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok too, Facebook stream, she'll fight for you. Some chase fame, some chase views, but she fights for those with nothing to lose. For the kids who vanish without a trace, she won't stop till she cracks the case. They try to silence, they try to scare, but truth don't break and she's still there, calling out monsters, showing their game. Justice comes when you speak their name. Want the truth, want the best, wanna be safe as you chat. Find kids true crime, it's worth your time. She's got your back, she's on the line. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok too, Facebook stream, she'll fight for you. So if you're lost or need a voice, kids stand strong, she makes the choice. For victims gone, for those in need, she's fighting hard, she won't concede. Want the truth, want the best, wanna be safe as you chat. Find kids true crime, it's worth your time. She's got your back, she's on the line. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok too, Facebook stream, she'll fight for you. At the end of the day, this is all we have to say. Fight for we'll always have her back. We will pick you right in the sack.
Good morning, my pretties. How are you? Lori Vallow, Queen of the 10444, did another interview, and we're going to go through it. Okay, hold on. I got to change this color. I don't like that color. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Whoa. Okay, that'll work. No, I don't like that. It's too green. Okay, whatever. Whatever. We'll just use that. Who cares? Who cares, people? Okay, hold on. I got to pull something up on my screen. I know it's early, but I'm up. And I thought, well, might as well, right? Right. So this is, I put the channel link here, hold on. Wait, let me see here. Is this the channel link? Let's see, I did it right away. Let's see. That's the channel link, and it's the Arizona Family Channel. They have done a lot of coverage on Lori. I think they are the ones that did the interview with Lori's sister and mom. I'm going to have to find out if this is the correct channel. But yeah. Hold on, I got to start this up because I just got to be careful here, people. I gotta start this. Hold on. Where is it? Which one am I gonna do? Hold on. I gotta figure it out. Well, this is crazy. Hold on. Hi! Hello, my favorite girl. Hold on. I'm trying to figure something out here. Lori Vallow did another interview. Let's get into that. I gotta turn this music down. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Don't even ask me. Well, you can't do that. Okay, so here we go. The Queen of the 10444 did another interview. Let's do this.
Hi, Lori.
Where?
Yeah.
Can I put this paper on here? Will it be kind of on the...
Yep. Totally fine.
Is that okay? I don't know if you could like be on camera. My handwriting's really
No, you're
sloppy.
good. I've been so curious to talk to you for a long time. First and foremost, I want to ask you, why did you decide to represent yourself in this way?
There's lots of reasons. Obviously, being pro per is not an easy job. I'm not an attorney. I don't have training to be an attorney. There's something that I figured out when I got to this jail. This experience has been 5 years running, okay? I went through a whole trial, before in my other state, and then I was brought here to Arizona to face some more serious charges. And I came here with the intention of having a speedy trial.
That is interesting. She doesn't have to wear cuffs in this interview. Misty, can you tell me, is the music too loud? Can you hear her over the music? Can you? Tell me if it's better. I turned it down. I turned it almost down to nothing, woman. Let's listen and let me know.
Right? I wanted to, these charges came first, right? So they're like 5 years old. So I, first talked to the attorneys. I was like, they've had 5 years, the prosecutors, to put their case together. And I really want to go to trial. Like, we need to go. So I'm in a max pod, with the max women. And there's about 8 women in my pod facing death penalty. And, I was in facing death penalty.
Oh my God, I got to get a screenshot.
And
There we go, people. I got it. I got my screenshot. Hold up. Now you can hear it. Oh, geez, Louise. What is going on around here? Okay. Oh, because shut up. That's what's up. That's what's up, people. Yes. Let's try it again.
Idaho. I was the only one in that jail because it's a very small town and a small jail. But here, these women have been waiting for their trials for 5, 6, 7, 8 years to go to trial in a jail. Okay.
Oh my God.
And then
in a jail.
During this experience, I've been in 4 different facilities during this experience, right? Because I was shuffled all over the country, right? Came from Hawaii to Idaho to Boise, back and forth. So I've experienced 5 different facilities now. This is the 5th facility I've been in, and it is the worst.
What exactly about the conditions bothers you the most? Because
did you hear that? The conditions are the worst. It's the worst place that she's been. Quit committing crimes, okay?
Everyone's going to say, what did you expect? You've been convicted of multiple murders. So what were you expecting in this jail?
Well, the people that are in this jail haven't been convicted of anything, that are in the same exact situation as I am. They're innocent. They're innocent right now, and they've been here for 5, 6, 7, 8 years eating slop every day, the same thing, every single day, not going out in the sunshine, not having proper medical care, not having proper dental. If something goes wrong with your teeth, you know what the dentist will do from jail? They pull your tooth out. That's it.
So you're fighting for the other inmates here who are waiting for their time in court.
This is what I found out. Arizona, different from other states, and I only know the 2 states because I've only dealt with 2 judicial systems, right? Has no intention of giving anybody a speedy trial, even though it's your constitutional federal right. Okay. So what I am fighting for these women, I'm fighting for these women and trying to set a precedent here that you can't just leave these women in jail for years, because the conditions at the prison, if you do get convicted, are a million times better than they are at the jail. Jails are not designed. They're not designed all over the.
Oh, Jesus. Whew. Listen to her go. She really thinks she's something and thinks it's funny that she has went through so many states. You want to hear something else? I just once want to hear her have feeling, like have remorse or feelings about what happened. Do you know what I mean? She has not taken responsibility in her part. She lives in this weird world, right? I don't think if she met Chad, this would have never happened. But anyways, she bypassed that girl stating you've been convicted of multiple deaths. She bypassed it. All right, here we go. Hold on a minute. Something's going on here, and it's not making me happy, people. All right.
The country. Jails are not designed to let you stay long term. The average person in jail goes 3 months. You're in there for 8 years. You've had teeth pulled out all over. You don't have any kind of thing that you need here. So I talked to my attorney.
Nobody's been there for 8 years. You got to be kidding me. That is not true. Okay, I'm not there. I'm going to look up the women in Maricopa jail, okay? And I'm going to see who's been there the longest.
And said, I need to go. And they said, we can't do it because I agreed with them, right? Because I said, from their professional stand, they want to go to court prepared, right?
Of course.
I'm a hairstylist. I used to charge tons and tons of money in Austin, Texas to do hair. So I'm not going to charge someone $400 to do their hair and let them walk out the door and not let it look good, because that's my reputation. So I talked to my attorneys. I said, I understand where you're coming from. I understand 100%. I don't want to put you in the position where you're saying, I can't do a good job for you. I can't do this for you in this amount of time. But I've been working on my case for 5 years. So I know my case better than an attorney can learn it in 2 years. But here's the thing.
Okay.
She's
been working on her case for 5 years. Did you catch that? So she knew this time was going to come. Interesting.
You waive your speedy trial, then they can keep you here as long as they want. There are intelligent, strong, beautiful women in here that have been here for 8 years because of family tragedies. It's the same like my case. A family tragedy, not a crime. A family tragedy. And they're waiting and they're facing the death penalty for a family tragedy. I know these women. I talk to them every day. I try to uplift, strengthen, and help women in this jail. And I think that's the purpose why I'm here.
Can you define family tragedy for me?
Yeah.
Obviously, you were convicted of killing your kids. Where does that
Wrongly
disconnect?
convicted.
You believe wrongly convicted?
Absolutely, 100%.
See her face?
Of killing your kids.
I want to look at this. Hold on.
Purpose why I'm here.
Can you define family tragedy for me?
Yeah.
Obviously, you were convicted of killing your kids. Where does that
Wrongly.
disconnect?
Wow.
Convicted.
You believe wrongly convicted.
Absolutely, 100%.
So then, how do you address that? You were convicted of it. They're not here. So what happened?
Okay, let's see some emotion there, Lori. Come on now. You know what? Maybe she's not going to answer because she's got a peel going on. I think she's in the appeals process. And if you're wondering why I'm pausing, because I got to make it fair use. They muted it.
To your point, you're not an attorney.
Correct.
You know your case, but you're not an attorney.
Correct.
How do you expect this is going to work for you next week and in these months to come, acting as your own lawyer?
I have help. I have a wonderful team that I got to hire, which is great. I have my paralegal, that's wonderful. I have my investigator. I have my advisory counsel that helps me. I'm just going to do the best that I can. That's all I can do. I'm trying to help the women here. Like, something that happens in Arizona that didn't happen in Idaho, something that's different, is there they really respect your right to a speedy trial. And so I wouldn't waive my speedy trial, and they finally pushed it to trial. The judge does go over, and for any reason, they can move your speedy trial out, right? But here, the first time you go to court here, if your attorney stands up for you and says, oh, we're going to need more time because you were supposed to go in 4 months, right? You have a certain amount of time and you're supposed to go in 150 days. And if your attorney says that, it automatically waives your right to a speedy trial. So the women that are here and their attorneys say, we're going to help you, we're going to put your case together, we're going to do all this stuff. They didn't know the first time that their speedy trial got waived, because they're like me. I mean, I was 46 years old when I got arrested. I've never been arrested before. I didn't know how the judicial system worked. They're in the same boat. So they didn't actually know at the time that they were waiving their speedy trial right.
I've been in the courtroom for some of this, and then I've watched it as well. When you're addressing the judge and the state, you can get a little snappy with them. And I know you're upset with what you feel is witnesses that are being precluded from the trial. What's your biggest complaint? What do you want to see happen? And is that the tone that you want to take throughout this trial?
I don't think I'm trying to set a tone. That's not my intention, is to set a tone. And I'm not a fighter, okay? So my whole life I've been a peacemaker.
No, you haven't, Lori. That's not true. And I say that according to family members, loved ones, and emails. This is crazy. Look at that screenshot there, people. Look at that. Look at that. Take a screenshot. I mean,
I'm a person that loves everybody, a person that gets along with everybody. I don't like to fight. So this is a challenge for me.
But you'd like to fight Joe Bryan and Charles. Sure did.
To even fight for myself, to fight for these women, to kind of stand up for the first time in my life, because I'm kind of been, I'm a people pleaser by nature. And it's been really difficult for me, but there's so many wrongs in the system. There's certain things that your attorneys won't say for you, because here's the problem. Your attorneys, they're professionals, right? So they're colleagues with the prosecutors, they're colleagues with the judges. And I get that, because I worked in a professional environment. So I get that. You have to be, they argue their points and then they go out to lunch. Like, I get that, right? I'm not doing that. I'm fighting for my life here, really.
There's this notion from people.
Your life is over. Your life is over, Lori. And you're only being charged here for conspiracy. So you don't have that on the table, but you are going nowhere. I hope you realize that.
People in the public that feel you're representing yourself because you have nothing to lose, that this is a challenge, kind of a show, a game for you. Do you agree with that?
I never hear any of this stuff because I'm in a room 23 hours a day and we don't have any access to any kind of news. So, or any kind of anything really. So I didn't know that people were saying that, but I wouldn't agree with that, obviously.
What's your mindset going into trial? What do you believe now, and how do you feel as we're just a couple days away?
A little bit stressed.
It's a big case.
It's a big case. It's stressful. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of legal things that have to be done. We're working on stuff every day. We're working late into the night. The biggest challenge for me in this trial will be the logistics. I want to be able to go and talk to the people who have stood up and lied about me. I get to face them face to face. I think that's important.
Yep, that's all she wants to do. That's lied. How about I'm going to prove my innocence? Would you say I'm going to prove my innocence? No, she wants to confront the people that lied, she said. Yeah.
So the hardest thing is here, they wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to court every single day. And you sit and you sit and you sit and you wait, but you're woken up and you're transported and you're getting back to the jail at like 5 and 6 o'clock at night. I'm gonna have to prep for the next day for my witnesses. I'm gonna have to meet with people. I'm gonna have to have my, paralegal's gonna come over. We're gonna get paperwork ready. We're gonna get, our stuff ready for the next day. So the hardest thing, it'll be lack of sleep. Nobody does good with lack of sleep.
Are you worried about the legal things you don't know?
Obviously, there's lots of legal things that I don't know. I have been studying. I've been studying a lot, the law. I've been studying it for 5 years. I've been talking with attorneys. I had a team of 11 people in Idaho, some really, really smart people. People were brought in all over the country from different states and everything because I was a death penalty case. And so I learned from a lot of people. And I'm a smart person. I paid attention. I consider myself an intelligent person, like a lot of these other women here in this jail. And we're trying to do the best we can. I know it's not going to be perfect the way an attorney would do it. So that's when people say like she has nothing to lose. Like,
Okay, so pretty much she's doing this and she was sent there to be the voice for these women, I guess.
I don't necessarily think that I'm going to do a better job than the attorneys can do. That's not my intention. My intention is to say the things that I would say for myself. I mean, I sat there during a whole trial and I discussed a lot of things with my attorneys and asked them to say very specific certain things that were important to me, just as a person, as a human being. These things are important that you say this for me, and they wouldn't say it. So, and I get the professionalism and I get what they're doing, but sometimes you just have to be able to do it for yourself.
You want to be your own voice.
Yeah.
Going over your case and all of it for years, I mean, it seemed like you had the life that so many wanted in Arizona. You had it all.
I loved our life here. Yeah.
Why are we here? Like, why are we at the place we're at now? You had that life. Why throw it away?
It's tragedy. Families have tragedies. Things happen. And there was a domino effect of tragedies in my life. And that's really sad.
What do you just...
That's not normal, though. Come on. Joe Ryan, 2018. Charles, July 2019. JJ Tiley, September 2019. And then you got, what's her name? Tammy Daybell, October 2019. And then in December, who do you have? Alex, 2019. There you go. There you go. Come on. Domino effect of bodies.
Describe that domino effect of what?
Huh.
It's probably something that we should save for next time.
Do you still believe in those things of the dark and the light spirits and the zombies? Is that still part of your
that's
belief system?
interesting.
Or have
Something
you...
just clicked right there. Is she going to blame Alex? Is she going to blame Alex? Because Alex can't speak.
changed your beliefs?
Why no sound? Okay, they don't want her to talk about her beliefs.
Do you consider you and Chad still together?
Sure, of course.
And how is that going to work with you?
Oh.
He's on death row and you are in prison for life.
Of course.
Watch your head. No, they're not. No, they're not. Watch your head.
Do you consider you and Chad still together?
Sure. Of course.
And how is that going to work with you?
It's a yes. It's a like up in the air kind of question. One more time. Sorry, people.
Do you consider you and Chad still together?
Sure, of course.
And how is that going to work with you? He's on death row and you are in prison for life. How do you continue that relationship, that marriage?
In the best way that you can, the only way that you can.
What do you think people have wrong about you?
Pretty much everything.
Oh, gee.
Like what?
Specifically, I don't really know what people think because I don't have access to the kind of media that you guys are watching all these things. I never get to watch anything. So I hear things from different people. I get text messages from people saying, oh, so-and-so said something, and I'm like, okay, I don't have access to what the people know. So I kind of can't clear it up because kind of don't know what it all is.
If you could clear something up right now, what would it be?
That I love everybody, that I'm here for a purpose. I think, God put me here in this jail, the worst jail in the country, they say, and I really can't argue it. But when I got here, the girls are like, did you know that you got brought to the worst jail in the country? And I was like, I can't argue that it's not. But he brought me here to help uplift and strengthen these women. And that's what I try to do every day. I taught I'm a certified group fitness instructor, and I worked here at Fitness Works and taught aerobics. And so I teach a workout to the girls every day. We laugh together, we cry together, we pray together. We're all in our separate cells.
Who was there for JJ and Tylee? I mean, really. Who was there when Tylee's dad died? You know what I mean? Did you uplift her? How about after, this is silly, after Charles, did you uplift JJ? This is crazy. She has no remorse. Is she even in our world? This is crazy. Because I can tell you some things, and to me, she's not. Okay?
We're in there 23 hours a day. So we just talk to each other through the cell doors, right? Like each of us get out an hour a day and we can talk to each other through the door. We have to take our shower and whatever. But this jail, some days you'll be in your cell for 3 days. They go on lockdown and you don't get out for 72 hours. You're just in your room. So I'm here to help strengthen these other women. Sometimes God needs somebody to go into the trenches. And I think he put me here for that purpose.
A follow-up question to what you said, that you love everybody. Does that include your children?
Absolutely. I love my children. I've always loved my children. There's never been a question.
Even being convicted of killing them?
Wrongly. Mm-hmm. Of course.
Do you plan to take the stand yourself in your own trial?
Okay.
I haven't decided yet. Don't need
Okay. I think she believes in her own mind that she did not unalive her children. Just from that statement. Let's back up.
Always loved my children. There's never been a question.
Even being convicted of killing them?
Wrongly. Mm-hmm. Of course.
Do you plan to take the stand yourself in your own trial?
I haven't decided yet. Don't need to decide that. Legally, you don't have to decide. So we're going to see how it goes.
And that would be a situation if you did decide where your investigator or somebody would ask the questions to you on the stand?
Yes.
Okay. That was my understanding too. I just
All right, my good people. That was crazy. That was crazy. I guess that news channel doesn't want anybody to review their interview with Lori. Sadly, even though this is fair use, I did it like you're supposed to. That's disappointing. We'll see what happens from there. This is a bummer. Hey, Arizona Family Channel. Everybody's going to want to interview or review that interview. And it's fair use, so I don't understand. However, this is what I do know. everything I was doing was fair use. I added stuff to it. I made sure there was stuff on the screen, and I kept pausing it and talking. Missy, are you still here? So if you want to check out the interview, here is the link. It's Arizona Family Channel that did the interview. So go watch it on your own. If you own a channel, beware. Okay? Beware. That's all I got to say. Just helping everybody out. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Maricopa, and I'm going to see all the women there. How many women? I'm going to see how many women are facing death penalty there. Yeah, wasn't that crazy? A big disappointment. See, you do things the right way, and it still can be a problem. It's so weird to me. All right, you guys, I'm going to do some research. I'm going to see what Lori says, if it's true. All right. So thank you for everybody coming through. And if you're going to stream that, be careful. Be careful.